To prepare for the festival, everyone had to do a lot of work. So I sent his photo clone everywhere to investigate. He only discovered a rebellious bear and destroyed it. Rimuru initially thought it was a small matter, but when the system reminded him that the bear was an A-class monster, he was startled, because that's not something a novice adventurer can deal with. If there were monsters like that wandering around, who would dare send new recruits on missions? So I believes that training for new recruits must be increased more. Gabita has no way to refute the cruelty of these people because they are inherently evil. Because he didn't want anyone to be sacrificed, Rimuru wanted to think of a way to deal with monsters. After hearing the presentation about building a barrier that seemed very feasible, and with the participation of many important figures in Rimuru's apparatus, Rimuru immediately approved this proposal. The installation of the automatic magic generator took place in front of everyone. Not only can it create a barrier to protect the city, but it can also reduce the concentration of magic elements in the air. Solve the problem that is giving them headaches. Because in order to prevent not gathering enough energy automatically, people also created a manual energy replenishment function. Although using magic crystal will lose 90% of energy, but thanks to Rimuru's magic seal, the waste can be minimized. Wasted magic element will not disappear but can be reused. This is no different from a perpetual motion machine. Low concentrations of magic elements will not be able to produce high-level monsters, which also solves the problem of Gabita. This is truly a wonderful invention. What's more special is that just by replacing the magic board with the spell engraved on it, you can activate many different magic effects. Rimuru also didn't expect that people could invent such wonderful things from his nonsense suggestions. In the future, if it can be made smaller, it will be convenient to carry. Or if made larger, it can be used as a strategic magic weapon. Regarding usage, these generators will be placed under the city's paving stones. After that, you just need to send patrolmen to protect them. The matter of the magic seal has been completed and only needs Rimuru's permission to mass produce it. Veldora appeared from nowhere and laughed loudly, saying that when this was completed, he could release demonic energy freely. A heavy atmosphere immediately appeared. Rimuru said that if he did that, half the country would be destroyed immediately. But Veldora still tried to explain that because he had been holding on for so long, his body was starting to get tired. He also wondered why Rimuru could hold it in for so long. Rimuru stuffed it all into his stomach. After becoming a demon king, the stomach can hold more than before. Diablo said that restraining demonic energy is extremely difficult. Because we can't let the country be destroyed, we can't let countless terrorist monsters suddenly appear. Rimuru promises to research this. Gabita was sleeping soundly when he was woken up for an internal meeting. Rimuru gives Geld a blueprint of the Malim's stronghold. Seeing Rimuru trust him like that, Geld couldn't control himself and almost cried on the spot. Kaijin asked to go and support, so Rimuru was very reassured. Rimuru did not forget to encourage the Geld to be more confident. It's okay to say that if you fail, you'll learn a lesson for later. Gabita interrupted, almost revealing his secret. As a result, there was an appointment with Rimuru immediately after the meeting ended. After being encouraged, the Geld became much more confident. Promised to complete the task in the best way. CHUYեն thinks Rimuru is too biased towards Geld. Rimuru doesn't think so, it's just that everyone has their own strengths. To ensure his life, he also emphasized that CHUYեն has no knack for cooking. The last thing is to listen to Diablo's situation report. Yum is having a hard time learning royal etiquette. Just thinking about it, Gabita knows that Yum is very miserable. King Edward and his brother began to take secret actions, but Diablo silently intervened. Another problem is that Rahim hasn't returned yet. Although he didn't know why, the person following him reported seeing him enter the capital of Ingratia with his own eyes. Between Ingratia and Lobilios there is a portal, so Diablo ordered Rahim to use it. Rimuru is worried that Rahim has been murdered. But if this happens, Diablo will know immediately. Because the information is so little, Rimuru doesn't dare to make wild guesses. The message Rimuru sent to Hinata was that he had let go of the past. If the other party chooses to live together peacefully, that's good. Otherwise, don't worry. Another problem is the identity of the mysterious mastermind behind what Clayman mentioned. They must pay close attention to that person's actions. Rimuru kept feeling like he was missing something. Did Hinata attack him because someone asked for help or ordered him to? Because Rimuru thinks that Hinata is not the type of person to just fight. The only person who can control Hinata is God Loomis. The final conclusion is that that person controlled Falmouth, manipulated Clayman and tried to destroy Tempest. But he couldn't give orders to Hinata at will. Rimuru thought that this time he would not act because he had made it clear that he did not want to be an enemy. He was sure Hinata wasn't stupid enough to choose to confront him and Veldora. The system believes that this may be related to many evil thoughts. Based on what happened, it guessed that not everything originated from one person. Countries look consistent, but in reality there are many contradictions. It is unnatural to group everything as being caused by one mastermind. If there was more than one mastermind, it would make more sense. Clayman is very annoying to Tempest, so he was happy when Hinata and Rimuru fought. Falmouth Kingdom also doesn't like Rimuru's existence, so they hope he will be destroyed by Hinata. Hinata is based on dogma, so she cannot ignore a demon like Rimuru. Currently, the person behind the scenes is probably busy rebuilding their lost force. But the possibility of directly attacking Rimuru is very low. If the mastermind had the power to overwhelm Clayman, he would have intervened long ago. So after trying to hide for so long, I can't get out now. If there were many conspirators, Hinata's stance would not be effective. Maybe because their interests are conflicting, their actions are not consistent. Currently there is a lack of information. Acting haphazardly is very dangerous. Diablo remembered that the messenger to Admaris was a merchant. If there are traders involved to make profits, it will be very complicated. Rimuru asks Shuna to find records related to Clayman Castle's merchants. Diablo investigated all the merchants who had interacted with Falmouth. The remaining people do the previously assigned tasks. As for CHUYEN, it's too difficult, so give her the task of protecting Rimuru. Veldora, don't bother everyone. Rimuru also did not forget to remind Gabita to come to his office. At this time, somewhere else, a meeting began to take place.